Hi, good morning or afternoon, whatever the case may be. This is Jim Gerlach over at Flair US, and we're going to answer the age-old mystery of how we mount a Flair frame. And if you haven't done one in the past, it might be a little bit tricky, but we're going to do it step by step and take all the mystery out of mounting a Flair frame. So hang tight with us, and we will be with you in 2 seconds. Okay, we're looking at the tools that we're going to need to do this operation. We're going to start off with the drill bit. The drill bit is very important. It's vital to the success of mounting a nice, solid, comfortable Flair frame with the lens in it without it wobbling and coming apart. We need a 0.9 millimeter drill bit. That's going to drill the 3 holes that we're going to use to mount this lens. We're also going to need and I'm going to leave it down here so we can focus on it properly. We're going to need, this is called a countersink, and it's just got a little burr, it's a deburring tool, but it's a countersink. And then we'll need a pair of pliers, a pair of pliers. And these pliers have smooth surfaces on the inside instead of the teeth, and that'll keep it from cutting the string until we're ready to cut the string. And we're going to use this little high-tech device called a cuticle clipper. These are available at any Walgreens in the whole wide world. And we are also going to need a little box cutter. Okay, now to dismount a Flair frame, you're going to see in here there's a little filament that's in there. That's the string that we're going to tie this off with. What we'll do is we open the frame up here, and we'll come and we'll see that little piece of thread that's over on the side. All you do is you just rest your blade on there and give it a little bit of pressure, and you'll hear a little snap. Okay, and out she comes. Okay, we're going to dismount the lens in the same fashion on this side. Okay, there's our snap. Okay, and she's apart. Now, this little piece right here, this little guy right here, we're going to use a demonstration version of this, and this is this, okay? And then the 3 holes that we're going to drill, this little guy right here, this was the temple, this is where this fit, okay, in here, and so that you kind of get a little perspective on what we're doing. All right. This is the filament that we're going to use. Now, basically, this being the demonstration model here, we're going to set this aside. We've drilled our 3 holes, okay? We just go in 2, 4, 6, both sides. 2 millimeters, 4 millimeters, 6 millimeters. And this is the filament that we're going to use in our demonstration. All we do is we fold it in half, okay? And we go start with the outside hole from the back surface of the lens. There's our concave. Back surface of the lens. We feed both ends of that thread through the first hole. Okay, both through the first hole, and pull it through. Leave yourself a little eyelet on the back surface, and then all we do is we turn it right back around and go right through the second hole. Okay. And there we go. Now if you look and see something here, this is something you're going to want to start looking for. There's a little crisscross that forms with this thing, okay, with the lens filament, mounting filament. Okay. Now we take our little edge clip, which is this guy right here, and all we do is we back this thing through, and there's our crisscross. We just weave it between the 2. Okay, and that post goes in the 3rd hole. And you can look straight down on it and you'll see your little crisscross. Okay? And all you do is you just pull one side snug, there's another side snug, and pull it nice and tight, and there it is. And all we do now is we lay our work down, we do one single knot, tie it off, grab our pliers, latch onto that, and gently but firmly pull that tight and hold it for a second or 2, and you're all done except for trimming it off, and we'll go through that here in just a second. Now we're going to do a real lens job here in a minute. We just started off with that. Now what we've got here is we've got a lens that's going to be inserted into this frame, And let's get the correct lens. This lens is going to be now, or the frame is going to become a sunglass. Sorry for the black background. Put a little something on here so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. Okay, now we were talking earlier about this countersink tool. This countersink tool, this is going to go into the center hole. Okay, between the two holes, what we do is we just lay this guy right in here. And all we do is we're just going to bore that out. Give ourselves a little bit of it's called a countersink. Okay. And so what we've got here is we've got a little bit bigger hole in the center, and we do this on both sides. Okay, you'll understand why in 2 seconds here. And we go in and we give ourselves a little bit of hole there. Okay. Now the best thing to do, and it's going to be a little difficult to see, but when you set this, there's a little ball right here on the end of this thing. Okay. That will go down flush with this back surface of the lens, and that's your perfect measurement for how the depth that you want to go. Anything that pretty soon you go through and you're outside the other side of the lens. Now we take this filament, take out a piece, and as we talked about earlier, we fold it in half, okay, and we leave one side a little bit longer than the other. So one side's a little longer than the other. And then we mount this right in here. Starting from the back surface of the lens, we go right in here. We start with the first hole and we slide this guy in. First, I'll get in here. Well, there we go. So we get both of the pieces of filament in there. And then we just draw this up. So we've got just a little bit of an eyelet coming on the other side, remaining on the other side, and then turn right back around with both pieces. Let me get up here where you can see. With both pieces, and we slide it back through the very next hole. Okay? And I guess the reason we shouldn't have used a sunglass lens is because I can't see this dang thing against black. Okay, so we get down here and we hold those two strings aside. Now, what you're going to see here, you can almost start to see where that thing is separated. Then we take our, where did I put, here it is. All right, so now all we're going to do is we just back this thing through, okay, and we're going to split our, there we go. Oops, I dropped it up here. I'm going to let it go sit back. Okay, so we just come back here, and here we go. Perfect. We pop this guy into the third hole. And draw one of those strings up, and that'll hold it in place. I put my thumbnail on here. It's a little hard because we're filming right now, but then all you do is you just grab one of these little one of the ends here, draw it up, okay, and we're taking all the slack out of this little area right here. All right, now just lay it down on your surface, and I'm assuming you've got some kind of a dispensing pad or some pad down there. And we're going to make a single knot, okay? A single knot. And while it's still laying down, just go ahead and secure one end or one side of it with one plier and one side with the other. And now we're just going to pull it up. And now what I tell people to do is just bring your thumbs together and make sure you don't turn your wrist this way to tighten it up, because that'll cut the string. Keep both of these pliers parallel. Just bring your thumbs together and start applying pressure, because this is your fulcrum point. Your thumbs are your fulcrum point. So don't need the death grip, just hold tightly, pull and hold for just a second. And then what you do is after you think you got it nice and tight, just feel it. You got a nice, tight, snug fit, and that'll never change. Now we're gonna lay our work down. Take this string, get right down to the end and pull it real good and tight. And what that'll do is it'll cause the two strings to stand up. And we want those so that we can snip them off. So what I do is I just hold these strings up. I just secure the lens down wherever it might be. And I come right in here, snip it off. You got a nice flush fit, nice beautiful fit for there. And then do the same thing. We're going to repeat the procedure. We're going to do it with the temple. Once again, we're going to put these guys together. Okay. And we're going to go into starting at the first hole from the back surface of the lens. We go in the first hole, slide it through, brought up a little eyelet there, turn right back around, go back straight back through the second lens, or second hole in the lens. And I can't see a damn thing. Okay, get in here. There we go. So we've got them both through the second hole. A little tough to see in here with a black background, but that's how we're filming it. All right. All right. So we've got both of these strings through there, and you can tell there's it's strung through properly. Okay. We'll get these out of the way, and then we just take our little temple, and we back this guy through. Give yourself a little bit of room, back it through. Weave that through this guy, or right back through this one. And you can actually see your crisscross. There it is, it showed right up. Get in there. Okay, and there's our little crisscross. And then we pull it just tight enough so we can set it down. Okay. Pull it a little, snug it up. All right, and then we're going to take this guy, just like we did the other one. We're going to take it just a single knot, and then drag this guy here, bring it up, and give it a nice pull. And then let's check and make sure we got all the slack out. Boy, that's nice and snug. And these will never change. This will always hold. And this is, let's see the other string. Come in nice and flush. And there we go. We have a mounted Flair frame with another sunglass in it.